Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kevin Zhang. I'm delighted to discuss digitalization today with you all online. In particular, I'd like to talk about how we can dive into digital and create new value together. Next generation ICT technologies have made digitalization a key engine for continued economic growth. Here, we can see the digital economic is growth about twice faster as GDP worldwide. The pandemic has greatly impacted the global economic. However, the Global Connectivity Index 2020 shows that countries with higher GCI scores had smaller declines in GDP. This suggests that ICT is essential to economic resilience and growth. Digitalization is also key to sustainable development. In 2015, the United Nations announced that 7 Sustainable Development Goals. This included reducing poverty, protecting the environment, improving health, and promoting social progress and perspective. Digitalization will help us achieve multi-SDGs. Digital tools enable remote education and healthcare. Universal access to technology creates new job opportunities and reduce employment inequality. Digitalization is also important for addressing climate change and achieve carbon neutrality. Let's take a look at the data from GSMA. The mobile industry impacts each SDG differently, but countries with higher SDG scores also have higher levels of mobile connectivity. This suggests that the mobile industry is important for promoting economic growth and social well-being. Digitalization involves many aspects that require coordinated efforts. Let's break them down into some key aspects to see how we can dive into digital. First, for country aspect, a clear vision, strategy, and goals should be set for digitalization, and digital infrastructure should be a priority. Second, for city aspect, we must build people-centric smart cities to promote inclusive development and drive digital in public sectors, such as transportation, healthcare, and education. This will improve the well-being of residents and efficiency of urban governance. Third, for industry aspect, we should further integrate industry know-how and digital technology, particularly in pillar industries like manufacturing, energy, and finance. Fourth, for public service aspect, digitizing information flows and process will make public service more efficient and transparent. Finally, for enterprise aspect, more incentives and support are needed to encourage SMEs to embrace digitalization. This may be funding or necessary technologies and services. In October, Huawei will release its digital transformation from strategy to execution report. This will take a close look at individual case studies that illustrate digitalization at the 5 aspects. We hope policymakers, analysts, and other readers will find the report useful. Huawei is a global leader in ICT infrastructure and smart devices that aims to help its customers achieve business success through digital transformation and promote digital inclusion. Huawei has done the following to meet its commitments. First, Huawei is going digital. If we want to help our companies and society as a whole go digital, we must go digital first to set a benchmark. After years of practice, we have built a one-stop services experience for 5 types of users: customers, consumers, partners, suppliers, and employees. Globally, we have achieved equal access to services through scenario-based service orchestration. We have also built a shared platform to support business growth. For example, before 2014, each of Huawei's mobile phone production lines had 86 workers. Now, each line requires just 14. The lines are also more productive. We can now produce a phone in under 29 seconds. This means digital and intelligent manufacturing has increased productivity sixfold. Second, based on our technologies and digital experience, we work with partners to dive into in their industry. We currently have over 31,000 partners worldwide. Our end-to-end solution have been deployed in more than 700 smart cities, 2,000 financial institutions, 119 power companies, 17 oil and gas companies, 200 railways, and 100 airports. By the end of 2020, 267 Fortune 500 companies have chosen Huawei as their digital transformation partner. Third, Tech4All is Huawei's long-term digital inclusion initiative. Ensure that no one is left behind in the digital world. Tech4All initiative focuses on 4 areas of education, environment, health, and development. To achieve the impact, Huawei mainly contributes our capabilities in technology, applications, and skills. Up to now, we have built partnerships with more than 40 partners for more than 45 Tech4All projects globally. In the area of education and environment, we have established global partnerships with UNESCO and ICN respectively. With the support and encouragement from these partners, Tech4All initiative has benefited more 20 nature reserves and more than 60,000 people. Huawei's vision and mission is bring digital to every person, home, and organization for a fully connected, intelligent world. We will continue working with our customers, partners to dive into digital and create new value together. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Denis Depoux, a member of the Global Management Board of consultancy Roland Berger. Today, I would like to address the challenges of digital transformation from a nation perspective. Today's world is highly competitive for individuals, for companies, but also for nations. The competitiveness of a company does not only depend on its innovation, its talents, its experience, its quality. It also depends on the environment in which it can develop. Globalized supply chains rely on the competitiveness of nations for infrastructure development, talent training, ease of doing business, carbon content of the energy supply, climate action, etc. Digitization is a key aspect of competitiveness as it enables better customer relationship management, shorter and faster demand to supply cycles, cheaper production thanks to industrial internet, virtualization or automation. Today's world, particularly in the course of the COVID crisis, is VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. Agility is critical to face that VUCA. This is not only about reacting fast, it's about knowing, analyzing, understanding, planning, and executing fast. Data is core to this success. In a way, digitization can reset competition by creating a new level playing field. Some competitive disadvantages of companies, of countries, can be offset by the use of technology like automation or artificial intelligence. This is why the digital infrastructure surrounding all economic players is so important for their competitiveness. Digital infrastructure and the digital transformation of nations is a key element of their competitive advantage. From our experience, we generally identify 4 phases of national digitization. Phase 1 starts with infrastructure, real-life needs to generate data, that data generation needs to synchronize with economic activity, and access to broadband is necessary to enable exchanges of information. Building optical fiber backbones and 5G networks are key enablers. However, infrastructure is only an enabler. In phase 2 of digitization, data-based digital use cases have to be organized. At national or regional level, it starts with digital government as a lighthouse to showcase what can be achieved and also to improve the efficiency of government services for administrative matters, of course, but also for very operational activities with direct benefits to citizens like healthcare or mobility. In parallel, some industries can pioneer digital business applications leveraging the nascent infrastructure. Platforms then drive the third phase of digitization by shifting digital usage from application to systems, interface with each other, e-commerce with payment and logistics, manufacturing systems with CRM and logistics. This systematic digitization looks like the virtualization of individual and economic life. And this is why the previous phases around basic infrastructure and digital applications are so important. If one element in the chain is missing, then the virtualization is slowed or stopped. Integration is a key success factor of this phase of digitization. Governments have a responsibility to identify bottlenecks and directly act or incentivize action to keep the ball moving. Technology is also improving fast, and governments also have to make sure that infrastructure is continuously upgraded according to the need of citizen and economic players. This is how nations or regions can maintain their competitive edge and the competitiveness of their players. Only then a digital economy gradually takes market share from the physical economy. As an example, e-commerce in China represents more than 25% of total retail sales as of this year, 2021. Phase 4 demonstrates a smart ecosystem where digital applications are ubiquitous and seamlessly integrated with physical activities for the benefit of citizens and consumers. This means that the value of data has also reached a new height, but it also entails challenges around cybersecurity, data privacy, and data usage and exchange regulation. The digital transformation of nations does not stop at this fourth stage. Use cases become increasingly sophisticated, leveraging advanced technologies such as AI for autonomous driving or for natural language interfaces in communication. Physical interaction around mobility or entertainment can also be partially substituted with augmented or virtual reality. In a smart ecosystem, virtual mobility can take market share on physical mobility in the same way that e-commerce took over brick-and-mortar retail. These demands continuous upgrade of basic infrastructure like broadband, therefore partially looping back to stage 1 of our national or regional digital transformation. For governments and their individual and business stakeholders, this ideal transformation route entails defining a vision, clear targets, from basic infrastructure into the development of digital ecosystems across various industries. What do governments need to succeed? Let's look at 6 success factors. Leadership, embodied by a designated national digital transformation organization that can activate capabilities across government departments. France, with the Secretary of State for Digital Affairs, who has since then become a partner with our firm, Roland Berger, or Singapore with its Smart Nation and Digital Government Group are examples of these highest level dedicated bodies. Continuous ICT infrastructure development is also key. South Korea, for example, provides an early start in the late 90s with the development of its optical fiber backbone and continuous improvement with subsequent plans to develop 5G. Korea has achieved to be ranked first for speed of its fixed and mobile networks. Governments also have to be role models in developing digital applications for themselves. It starts with e-government. Denmark ranks first last year in the e-government development index by having digitized most interfaces with government departments. Financing of digital transformation initiative is also key through multiple channels activated by governments, funds, incubators, direct ICT investment, tax breaks, and subsidies. Thailand, for example, has set up a special fund to support digital economy and social development and is exempting corporate projects such as cloud services for income tax for 8 years. Thailand's digital economy, as a result, grows by 13% this year. Talent development is also core to enabling the digital transformation of nations. This is about academic programs for university students, but also training of government employees themselves. The United Arab Emirates, as an example, are developing local talents through various programs. And UAE has greatly improved its stance on digital talents that were missing only a few years ago. Digital ecosystems are not only developed by private players, they can benefit from government encouragement and moderation. Public-private partnerships are a good tool to embark small and medium-sized enterprises in government-sponsored projects. The German Ministry of Economy has done a lot in the last 10 years to encourage the development of Industry 4.0 platforms, aligning interests of the giants like Bosch, Siemens or SAP, academia, policy banks like KfW, small and medium companies in the software and machinery sectors, as well as innovative startups to accelerate the growth of smart manufacturing. This is key for Germany to maintain industrial manufacturing competitiveness at a time when digitization may accelerate the emergence of competing ecosystems like India, China, Thailand or Indonesia for various industrial products. To summarize Roland Berger's thoughts on the digital transformation of nations, what should governments pay attention to? Number one, governments at national as well as regional or local levels are core to digital transformation of their constituencies. As visionary leaders, as facilitators, as practitioners themselves with e-government, and as regulators. Number two, the digital transformation of nations needs vision and design, based on the requirements of citizens and companies alike. Digital inclusion is also key in that respect. Everything starts and continues with the permanent development of the ICT infrastructure. Maximum engagement with corporate, social and individual stakeholders is necessary and entails a very transversal approach across government departments. The private sector quickly picks up opportunities for development, and governments should therefore focus on maintaining a favorable digital environment from infrastructure to talents and funding.
Different countries have different successful practices and experiences in digital transformation. Roland Berger's partners and principal in different regions will share with you more wonderful cases after the meeting.
During the last 10 years, we have been running towards a city-led world. Cities were increasing in power, size and number. Of course, there's been a growing investment too, from 14 million to 34 million between 2015 and 2020, with Asia Pacific as the fastest growing region. Then, in 2020, probably one of the hardest years of our lives, we have witnessed more than ever the pressing challenges that we as humans face, a climate emergency, the digital divide, the housing gap, and how cities must prove and provide a solid response to those existing threats. This global pandemic has revealed the needs and weaknesses of our cities, but also their greatest strengths, and these are the ones that will drive recovery forward. Indeed, old perspectives cannot solve new problems. Only with creative approaches and massive collaboration will be possible to steer cities and societies towards a better and exciting future. So how can we make smarter and future-proof cities? Let's go back to basics. They are more relevant today than ever before. They set the backbone for any intelligent city. 1. A smart city must save resources. 2. A smart city must be sustainable. It must respect nature and its environment while at the same time making the most of it. 3. A smart city must ensure a better life for its citizens. 4. A smart city must be resilient and ready for what's coming upon. And 5. Last but not least, a smart city is not, and this is important, this is not a bunch of technical and logistical problems to solve. And there is no one-size-fits-all formula. If those 5 points are the DNA of a smart city, which are the pivotal axes of transformation? Digitalization. The new digital world has arrived in full force, and it's here to help. We knew it, but now we all see it clearly and more clearly than ever. Hyperlinked cities and disruptive technologies like 5G, IoT, and artificial intelligence or cloud computing are nothing but means to solve problems and upgrade services in terms of mobility, safety, planning, education, or health, just to name a few. Sustainability. We daily watch figures that point cities as the main responsible of the biggest environmental threats: energy consumption, CO2 emissions, plastic waste. The good news is we know how to reverse these realities, and cities are rethinking themselves to face these challenges. We need to renaturalize cities and give central stage to green public space. We need to power our cities with renewable energy and invest in clean tech and smart building. And we need to move from a linear to a circular economy and change the way we think about waste, especially about plastics, which must be replaced for more eco-friendly materials. Mobility. Traditional urban mobility models have no sense anymore. They contribute to the high rates of pollution and congestion on our cities, and have been designed for cars and not for people. So how can we change the current mobility patterns? Investing in public transport and micromobility to ensure an accessible and seamless experience to citizens and logistics services. Encouraging active mobility like cycling and walking, and switching to electric mobility. This is not a click, but initiatives like ultra-low emission zones can help ease this transition. Going from owned to shared. New mobility models that are being delivered in cities may be attractive and efficient alternatives to private vehicles. Smart regions. Replicating and how to replicate successful business models and successful solutions at a bigger scale. Thinking and implementing across city borders. Driving urban transformation through metropolitan and multi-level governance. Linking the core city with its peripheries efficiently. Cities are stronger when they go hand in hand. And of course, human-centered approach. We need to put always people at the core. A smart city is by definition citizen-centric. It should be data-driven, but this is not only a world of systems and patterns. It must always be people-powered, putting citizens at the center of any initiative and leaving no one behind. And if we claim that cities are for citizens, this must ensure well-being while stimulating our possibilities. Cities are for citizens, and we all have the right for the city. 2021 is the year for restarting, for using the lessons learned to build back better, for regaining confidence in cities. From the Smart City Expo World Congress, we will continue working to turn cities into what we want them to be. The past 10 years have made us into much more than just a 3-day event. We have created and nurtured an international innovation community that's fueling the innovation edge technologies to upgrade cities worldwide. We have connected solution seekers and solution providers to transform key sectors such as mobility or infrastructures. We have fostered partnerships, accelerated change, and collectivized knowledge. But the best is yet to come. These past 10 years are just the beginning of something much greater. The countdown for Smart City Expo 2021 is on, and we can't wait to celebrate our 10th anniversary and bring back the thrill of face-to-face business. I hope we'll get to meet in Barcelona this November. Many thanks and have a wonderful event.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas Xu, and I work for the Global Government Business Unit of Huawei's Enterprise Business Group. As digital transformation progresses rapidly across the globe, many developed countries have now proposed their own digital strategies. For example, in 2010, the US released its federal cloud strategy called Cloud First. In 8 years, 85% of the services federal agencies provide have been migrated to the cloud. The EU released its digital strategy called Shaping Europe's Digital Future. The strategy specifies the Gaia X standards which EU cloud service providers must comply with. In 2014, China launched its own cloud transformation plan. In 4 years, China migrated all provincial services and 75% of municipal services to the cloud. Based on this work, in 2018, China proposed a plan to use a single network to provide government services. Elsewhere, Singapore's ICT infrastructure is amongst the best in the world. Singapore hopes to achieve government digital transformation by 2025 through cloud platform and latest ICT such as big data and AI. More than 170 countries have released their own digital transformation strategies, and more than 70 countries have issued cloud strategies. According to a white paper released by the UK's Oxford Economics and Huawei, each 20% increase in ICT investment leads to a 1% increase in GDP. The president of Mexico has stated that the internet is an important step forward for a country. So, in order to enhance connectivity, Mexico will further increase ICT investment to accelerate its digital transformation. The National Development Plan was initiated in 2020, led by federal government's Presidential Digital Strategy Office and also funded federally. It was implemented by the Federal Electricity Commission, short for CFE. CFE plans to deploy 200,000 free public wireless access points and 40,000 kilometers of optical fiber resources to cover 95% of Mexico. CFE estimates that the project will improve the country's GDP by 5.2% over the next 6 years, creating 1.6 million new jobs. With internet-based remote education and medical diagnosis now in place, students received equivalent of 1.3 years additional education, and 1.52 billion US dollars was saved in government spending on healthcare. Many countries have achieved success in cloud migration. South Africa's State Information Technology Agency, also known as Sept, the South African government has faced challenges in the past, including the rising public service costs, inefficient cross-departmental collaboration. Sept released its cloud strategy and proposed a vision to build an elastic, efficient, and data-converged South African e-government cloud to address these challenges. Sept will also complete the unified development and elastic provisioning of resources to ministries and provinces, which will reduce annual O&M costs by 30%. In China, smart city development starts from the smallest governance unit and uses the unified management network as the breakthrough point. This brought 3 major benefits. First, efficient services. Second, higher public satisfaction. Third, more efficient operations. On April 30 of this year, Shanghai was hit by a major typhoon. This caused the suspension of ferries to and from an area called Chongming Island. A total of 6,000 people were stuck, but the City Operation Center coordinated 100 buses to get everyone out. The entire process took just 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's time for us to wrap up. We can see that government digital transformation should focus on improving government efficiency and public satisfaction. Remember, the cloud is the future. Digital transformation will also reshape government departments, organizational structures, and business processes. These changes will accelerate digital transformation. Neither ICT infrastructure construction nor digital transformation can be accomplished overnight. They require ongoing operations and iteration. Thank you for your time.
Hello, welcome to my session. This is Katie Chen. In this topic, I want to talking about the digital transformation in the financial services industry. And I currently in Huawei FSI head office, leading a digital transformation team. In the first chart, I want to mention about the trend of the financial industry, right? Especially regarding to the digital transformation. I think pandemic back and forth is, let us, accelerate the digital economy. Another thing is the mainstream technology is more clear. As I remember, I was Chief Information Officer of China Merchants Bank. That would be, 2014. On that time, as a bank, we struggling, shall we go, migrate to cloud or, to run the digital business and, to facing the competition from the fintech firms. But recently, you can find the mainstream technology is very, very clear. Mobile, right? iOS, Android, cloud computing, Kubernetes, cloud native, and big data, AI, and 5G is on the way to define different level of standards. Another thing is you see that, social distance, so the digital payment becomes so popular. And digital payment is the most frequently financial services in the banking industry. So you can see that if any company they're running digital payment very well, then usually they will extend to other financial services, just like the market in China, right? Another thing is the cryptocurrency. I think the market cap of cryptocurrency is growing so rapidly. Even recently, their pricing is going down, but still maintain is trillions, market cap. So on the other hand, the central bank also started launching the digital currency as well. Or they are planning, they are thinking about this. Or all this kind of digital currency will impact to the financial industry. Either it's a payment vehicle or as a kind of asset, right? The last thing is the antitrust, not just China market, but also in the United States. You can see that big tech firm, they extend their technology, using technology, expand into the financial services. They provide payment, provide information, and even they provide the engagement, direct contact to the customer. And their technology can support billions of customers, which is different from conventional financial industry, the concentration risk. So most of the financial industry cannot have so many customers, right? So antitrust probably will give the financial institution have certain period of time to catch up the technology, have the opportunity to get into the digital transform and digital business operation. I think in this chart, I pick up some the 5 major challenge for any institution, either banking, or financial institution to deal with the digital transformation. I think the first one is how to collaborate, business operation people and technology people to work together. As we know, digital transformation, that means digital operation. Digital is basically built up by technology. So the business people have to understand what is the digital economy, how is the digital technology going on, and how can you use it. So using the technology into the business, it's become very important. So that can make the whole organization becomes agile, right? Quick react to the market. Another thing is cost. What is cost? Because technology is so expensive investment. So once you invest in technology, digital technology, leading edge technology, in the same time, you also have to maintain your legacy operation. And I think every bank, it's not affordable. The third thing is strategy setting and the determination of execution, right? Especially you need to have very good benchmarking. Then, you will have very clear direction and knows where to go. The fourth one is, I think the technology problem is cloud migration, cloud transformation. Digital economy is running on the internet, right? All the application data actually is being handled by technology by cloud, right? So cloud migration is a key to build up your digital business operation platform. The last one is human resources portfolio. As we know, the economy's whole society is moving to digital world. So you have to have more your staff, your employee understand the technology, right? And knows how to using technology. We can find that there are 5 stages to transform into the digital business operations. Start from you building a digital channel, the platform just like work as a channel. The second stage is you redesign your whole financial services into digital platform. The third stage is you need to embed and integrate into the digital economy. The fourth stage is you have to build up your digital operation platform, which means your services. It's like a cloud computing. It's like a bank as a service, right? You're always available to the customer. You always can talk to your customer. You always stand by to your customer, right? Provide the services. And the last stage is monetization. Why? Because when the whole economic society, the market get into the digital economy, you will find that things change so much, right? So any financial institution have to find a way to run your business. I think this is my last chart. Huawei. We are enabling the intelligence finance. It's our vision, our goal, all right? So start from building a digital infrastructure. And, on the infrastructure, build up a digital platform, just like what I mentioned before, right? You can integrate your physical channel and online channel together. Most important things is migrate all your branch operation, branch marketing and sales into the online and also offline, integrate this two together. And then you build up the digital engagement. You can engage to your customer directory by digital way, right? And the last one is the whole bank, whole financial services can be embedded into the digital economy, no matter which kind of industry, which kind of customer, individual, your corporate customer, it's all integrated into this digital world. So I think Huawei is a technology company. This is our vision to enabling intelligence finance. Okay, I think this is my session. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Wu Lianfeng from IDC. It is a great pleasure for me to share with you IDC's views on digital transformation. The topic of my sharing today is building future enterprise in a digital-first world. We believe that the next 5 years will be a golden age for digital development and digital economy. First, we can clearly see that governments attach great importance to digital development. The US, the EU, Japan, and China have all introduced the relevant policies. The EU, for example, launched the 2030 Digital Compass in March 2021, which will invest at least 150 billion euros over the next 5 years into areas including talent, digital infrastructure, enterprise digital transformation, and public data services for governments. The pandemic has highlighted the value of digitalization. Technologies can be used to enhance and replace people. In China, technologies are used for marketing and live commerce. In addition, many enterprises and countries have begun to leverage technologies to build a digital culture, so the pandemic has really highlighted the value of digital transformation. IDC predicts that 65% of the global GDP will be digitized by 2022, and the digital economy will be on fast track. Direct investment in digital transformation will exceed 6.8 trillion RMB from 2020 to 2023. And we believe that it's critical that enterprises implement a digital-first strategy in the future. According to IDC's research, by 2024, 51% of the global IT budget will be digital transformation and digital innovation, and the number in China will be over 70%. And by 2025, 75% of the global workforce will be millennials, and the number in China will be higher than 70% as well. The millennials' demand for products, services, and technologies will drive enterprises to move toward digitization. We have mentioned that the pandemic has had a great impact on digital transformation. We believe that the year 2021 will be a watershed for digital development and enterprise digital transformation. Enterprises doing well in this will accelerate to success, while those with poor efforts have to fight for survival. Our numbers also show that digital enterprises do better in sales and profits. We divide manufacturers around the world into two types, digital and non-digital. By analyzing their sales revenue and profits over the past 5 years, it is obvious that digital manufacturers are way better than non-digital ones in both revenue performance and profit performance. This further demonstrates why enterprises need to attach importance to digital transformation. Today, we also see that enterprises' digital transformation has begun to enter the deep water zone. IDC has divided digital transformation into 5 stages. If you look at stage 2 and stage 3, over 70% of enterprises are already in these 2 stages. This also means that moving into stage 4 and 5 is like climbing up a hill and will be very difficult. As digital transformation enters the deep water zone, the requirements of enterprises will greatly change. As the transformation enters the deep water zone, accelerating scale innovation is at the core of digital transformation, including business process innovation, customer experience innovation, product and service innovation, business model innovation, and social responsibility innovation. And all these need to be supported by the underlying digital infrastructure in the future. For service process innovation, for example, with the application of one-click refueling, Sinopec has improved the refueling process between users and petrol stations, making it more efficient and bring better experience. For customer experience innovation, in China, Beike, a housing broker, has adopted AR and VR technologies to provide customers with a 360-degree view of apartments, which has drastically enhanced their experience. And Dyson, a fan company, has applied digital technologies and IoT to the fan, compared with traditional fans which may cost a few hundred RMB, and the price of a Dyson fan may be 5,000 or 6,000 RMB. Business model innovation, Caterpillar's IoT and big data-based after-sales services now account for more than 50% of its sales. BMW Brilliance has taken green, lean, and digital as its core approach, and being green shows how the company fulfills its social responsibility. To accelerate scale innovation, enterprises need to build their core competitiveness. IDC suggests that enterprises should build their core competitiveness from 9 aspects. These include future of customers and consumers, future of work, and future of trust related to interview employees and customers, future of digital innovation, future of intelligence, and future of operations related to the intelligence of the entire organization, future of digital infrastructure, and future of connections related to technology architecture, and finally, future of industry ecosystem. Among these 9 aspects, different organizations may have various strategic priorities and investment directions. We divide organizations into 4 types. Organizations with over 1,000 employees, with 100 to 999 employees, with fewer than 100 employees, and governments. Most large enterprises are in stage 4. Their pain points and requirements are risk management and control, business model innovation, and social responsibility. Therefore, their tech investment focus is different. SMEs' business pain points and requirements focus more on high-speed growth, business process innovation, and customer experience innovation. Small businesses with fewer than 100 people want to seek sustainable and healthy survival while looking for ways to further improve customer experience and innovate products and services. For government organizations, policy leadership, citizen service capacity, business process innovation, and customer experience are critical. Therefore, their direction and investment priorities in future digital technologies will also be quite different. Based on this, we are providing these 6 major strategies to better implement digital transformation. First, set a vision to serve as a beacon for long-term digital transformation. Second, assess the maturity of digital transformation technologies to understand where you are today, where you're going in the future, and what capabilities you need to develop. Third, develop a digital transformation roadmap with use cases at the core. Fourth, due to the pandemic, we must strengthen acceleration and resilience and adapt to digital transformation after the pandemic and build digital resilience. Fifth, undoubtedly, there is a need to continue to invest in digital technologies and to invest in future digital infrastructure based on the company's needs. 6. Restructure the organizational system, build an agile organization, and develop new KPIs to adapt to future growth. Of course, during digital transformation or development of digital economy, governments at all levels also play a very important role. We are offering 5 suggestions for them to promote the development of digital economy and digital transformation. First, digital planning first, including development vision and goals, differentiated industry positioning, blueprint implementation, and key actions. Second, continue to invest in infrastructure, including data centers, broadband networks, green electricity, and intelligent transportation. Third, innovate industry policies, including tax incentives, attracting talents, innovation support, and information security. Finally, provide first-class services, including government services, policies and processes, environment, education, and healthcare. Of course, long-term investment and persistence and continuous iteration and optimization is also very important. It often takes 5 to 8 years for government industry policies to take effect, so long-term investment and persistence will be crucial. That's what I want to share with you today. To conclude, I have summarized the 3 key points. Whether you're a government organization or an enterprise, focus on your advantages today and make full use of them. Second, update your strategy in light of the policies of the entire government and the development of the pandemic. Third, accelerate your actions. Lastly, we hope that enterprises can leverage digital technology and invest in digital technology to become a global future enterprise faster. Thank you.
We are entering into digital era. The digital adoption is accelerated by 7 years globally. The investment on the digital transformation is rising, 3% increase year on year. The digital economy is growing faster than GDP, providing strong contribution to economic growth. The digitalization is becoming a new driving force and empowering new growths. The digitalization is progressing on. It brings great changes to every person, home, and organizations. For individuals, the digital will help to give people the availability of connection, a sense of safety, and happiness. In home scenario, the digital will facilitate to achieve the home broadband connectivity, better experience provisioning, and finally to realize a fully intelligent home. Meanwhile, the digital technologies are driving the digitalization transformation in enterprise, industries, cities, and countries. Here is a full landscape of the digital transformation. It covers from the country to city, industry, enterprise scenarios. Acting from the strategy to the execution, from the practice to excellence, it will create new values in economic growth, industrial upgrading, business innovation, and social contributions. Globally, over 170 countries release the national digital strategy in the next years. The overall national digital transformation framework can be structured into 5 layers, which are the digital strategy, applications, digital technologies, digital infrastructures, and enablers. To achieve the economic growth, social inclusion, and development potentials is mainly the target. The digital economy, digital government, and digital society are the 3 pillars and drivers. The digital technologies and also the digital infrastructures are the foundations. The strong organization, abundant funds, continuous talent cultivation, supportive regulatory policies, and rich ecosystems are the important enablers for the success of the national digital transformation. The digital infrastructure has positive impact on economic growth. The figure shows that over the past 10 years, 10% increase in fixed and mobile broadband penetration rates resulted in 1 to 3% increase in GDP. 7% adoption of the cloud by private sector also resulted in 1% of the GDP contribution. It is forecasted that by 2030, the 5G, AI, and other digital technologies will have great impact on economic scales, driving digitalization of industries, automation, and also the product and service and business innovations. The digitalization for different countries are in different stages, which can be categorized by GCI, the Global Connectivity Index. For the starters, constructing the digital infrastructure to enlarge the ubiquitous connectivity and the digital applications is a key. The adopters are accelerating the digitalization through integrated the digital technologies and the industry know-how. The front-runner are leading in digital transformation, keep invest in the technological and business innovations, and targeting to build a smart country and intelligent society. Above all, the digital infrastructure will be the foundation for the national digital transformation. The connectivity is the cornerstone of the digital infrastructures and need to be accessible, affordable, and applicable. However, nearly half of the world's population and families do not have the access to the broadband services yet. To bridge the digital divide, more than 150 countries have launched the national broadband plans to provide ubiquitous broadband services. Meanwhile, the connectivity has to be affordable from network, terminal, and service provisioning. It will bring benefits to individuals, families, as well dividends to the industries. In the new era, the intelligent connectivity will inspire to explore the new business innovations over the 2C, 2H, and 2B fields, creating new values. To build a solid connectivity, the support from regulation, policy, funding, and ecosystems are the key enablers. With the popularity of 5G, AI, and cloud services, the data volume is dramatically increasing. The demand for the data center is getting much more important to accommodate the computing powers. Basically, the data center has to be green for energy saving, effective collaboration between the data and the network, and multi-site and multi-live coordinations. The deployment strategy for the data center will differ in different scenarios, like the integrated big data center in China with coordinated planning, the high-performance computing center for the product development, scientific research, and public services areas, the edge computing data for the enterprise edge data processing. By providing capabilities of application, data, and AI enablers, the cloud-based digital platform has become a land for the public service resource integration, ecosystem aggregation, digital application innovations, together with the talent cultivations. The deployment of a national digital platform is expected to facilitate the future-oriented and sustainable development of the nations. Let's dive into digital, accelerate transformation to empower growth and create new values.